Hello and welcome. This is Coach Carol with more brainstorming presentations for you in engineering your prompts for, yes, you guessed it, ChatGPT. In my previous tutorial, I was showing you the 5 rules for your prompts. If you remember those as role, task, format, output, and improve. In this video, I'm going to share with you the use of the 5 rules to engineer a prompt to work on an ancestor profile, something that we do quite often as genealogists. So I have created a prompting template over here in good old Google using a spreadsheet format. And I've just pasted that image there for you as a reminder. So in this first purpose-built prompt, I'm focusing in on creating an ancestor's profile, and I want to use these lines as part of the prompt, which follow the 5 rules. So you are a skilled genealogist with a flair for analysing data. Prepare an ancestor profile for this ancestor from this data. Display in narrative style in 250 words or less, and add the family group in a tabular format showing the children's data. Now this is a generic prompt, so of course when I use it I'll have to fill in the ancestor's name and add the data that I want it to work from. So here's the result of that prompt over here. I'll just scroll back up to the prompt itself, as you saw, and then beneath it I have simply copied in the data from the profile of my great aunt Rosina Elizabeth Terry. Allery was her maiden name, and below the prompt are all the names of her children, and the first one is her husband. So when I generated that response, this is what it gave me. A neat narrative set of paragraphs about Rosina, using some creative flair in the writing thereof. She was a cornerstone of the Terry family, born into the era of change and innovation, companion to George Terry, there's his relevant data, and their alliance forged a family that would span generations. Then it goes on to tell me about the children, from the eldest, named Jessie, to the youngest, named Lillian. So there are actually 12 children in that family. Back here I noted that it said 13 unique souls, but what I believe it was suggesting was that the first one listed in the data above was George himself, the husband. In the table that I asked for, it does have the correct 12 children, all lined up neatly, showing their birth and death years. And the paragraph above describes for them that they each experienced a different slice of the 20th century, with William's life tragically cut short in 1944, which you can see down here. He was a soldier and died towards the end of World War II. So I have now a neat ancestral profile for which I could begin perhaps a chapter in my ebook about the Allerys, which is something that I'm working on right now. And I can use this data to help prepare the reader for what's coming next. I could then use the 5th rule, which is to reiterate and to work through with ChatGPT a little more to colour in the story. So I'll just pause here and get that ready for you. Right, I have now prepared a second iterative prompt to get more information about Rosina. And in this case, it's more to do with her as a child of the parents listed below. So here's the first part of the prompt, that she's the daughter of Samuel John and Mary Ann Hall. The task, please create an additional paragraph for her ancestor profile and create a list of her siblings in tabular format showing her siblings and half-siblings. So I've gone back to my data in my tree and looked at the page for this woman, my ancestor, my great aunt, and copied the information showing here for parents and siblings. It's quite a long list, and there are 2 sets of parents there. This is in the new genealogy program called We Are at weare.xyz. More about that later. So I've copied all that and want to go back now to GPT and add that data below and execute the prompt and see what it comes up with. Exactly what I was after. Very handy to see the way it has shown the children in this tabular format. And I can now see clearly some gaps that were in that particular tree's data, the death year for Walter and for George. So I can go back and have a look for those, of course. Hadn't noticed that until I saw it in tabular format. And the little paragraph above is perfect to begin the story for Rosina, that she was the firstborn daughter in a large blended family. She had 6 siblings from her parents' union, and then obviously her mother, or the mother of those 6, tragically died. And that is quite true. It actually turns out that she died giving birth to, I'll find her, Jenny down here. You can see, maybe not during the birth, but not long after the birth of her last child, we see the death of Mary Ann Hall. So there's some interesting facts that come out of just asking chat to do this kind of analysis. So there we have it. That's one way for you to use ChatGPT using the 5 rules of prompting to come up with a very well-written ancestral profile. Give that a try for yourself. And one of the things that I really do strongly urge you to do is to have somewhere where you park your prompts, because you may want to change them somewhat as you work through the process. Each time you ask questions, maybe there's a change in the wording there that will work better for you when you retry them later. Good luck with that, and I'll be back with more tips on how you can use the 5 rules for engineering your prompts to apply to family history. Next one up is ancestral trails. But of course, if you're looking for more, have a look at the playlist link below the notes in this video, and you'll find even more. I'll be back with more later.